I think we just buckled down defensively and got stops when we need them the most. Really, Jordan Walsh did an incredible job on Andrew Funk. He's one of the best shooters in the entire league. Shooting, I think, double-digit threes per game. Last time he was here, I think he got 12 up. To hold him to 1 for 6 from three, especially in the second half, we went where he was just maintaining and chasing him around. Like, such a huge piece of their offense, like how dynamic he is as a shooter and with his range and how much pressure he puts on you defensively. And then, I really thought, Drew and JD did such a good job from a personnel standpoint with Hunter Tyson, and then Kai was great. We got a little funky there. They went really small where we didn't have like a real matchup for him, but he ended up kind of figuring it out on Tony and maintaining there. So still some late game, some block shots, some big time rebounds, some tip outs, and offensive rebound and then DB kind of took us home. Was able to get in the paint, whether it was in transition for the one, off pick and roll on the other, for the and one, and then we knocked down free throws. But really for us, just like you said, a rock fight. I'd say a boulder fight, considering both teams shot below 28%. We had a horrendous shooting night, and we somehow shot better. But for us, we talk about it all the time. In Toronto, we had a really good defensive night in that second game, and we shot it really well. And so you win by 40 when you're that good defensively, and you shoot it at just you have one of those variance nights. We had a night on the other end of variance where we don't shoot it very well, but we had 3 25-point quarters, two quarters, both quarters in the first half, holding them to below 20. They got pretty hot there in the third. Started knocking down some threes, and they were getting out in transition and off our turnovers. But just an incredible defensive effort from our whole team. Yeah, I think if we're taking the right ones, there were a handful. We got a little stagnant, and that was my fault. Just trying, calling too much pick and roll to attack a matchup, and we settled. So I was the source of that. But I thought the bulk of them were pretty good looks for us. That just didn't go down. And I'll never tell these guys to stop shooting. If you're open, you got to shoot it. It's the right play. It's the right read. When you start hesitating and then driving into traffic and turning it over, you have empty possessions. That's the problem. At least if you shoot it, if you don't make it, we got a chance to go get it on the offensive glass. I thought we did a great job of that in the first quarter. They kind of shored that up for the other three, but we shoot a lot of threes. We were small for quite a bit of the game, regardless, where it's just kind of inherent for us. And when we make them, we look amazing, and when we don't, we got to be ready to guard. Yeah, offensively, his ability to get in the paint, get to the rim, and finish puts a lot of pressure where he was drawing rotations and able to find guys and kick out to the perimeter. Probably would have had more than 2 assists if we could make a 3, but where offensively he makes the game a lot easier. He's a guy that can handle. He can play off against closeouts. He's a pretty dynamic player in that regard. Coming here second time, opportunity for him to handle a little bit more, be a little bit more of the primary option or primary handler in action and decision maker. It was a little clunky at times with him and JD both out there. For us, both ball dominant guys. To just really have a shoot around and try to figure it out, and that's on me. It's a good learning opportunity for me to figure out how to help those guys, help Drew. But defensively, for us, his size and length and athleticism, to be able to put him on Pickett. He had 24, but for the most part, I thought we did a really good job on him, and that started with Delano. His ability to just guard one-on-one the post and limit his looks there, goes a long way in helping all those other guys do their jobs. To stay connected to Funk, to be a little bit more closer to Tyson. To close out under control and get to his right hand, all that kind of stuff goes a long way, even if it doesn't necessarily show up directly on a stat sheet or inherently in terms of what you see. It's been tremendous, and certainly on the offensive end of the floor, just his decision making and growth as a playmaker and passer and finisher. But tonight was all about his defense. He ended up with 14. Had that huge steal and dunk. It was a big momentum swing for us there late. It was really the start of it for us to close the game out. But like defensively for him, that like his mindset to go in and like he dominated the game defensively, dominated it by just guarding Andrew Funk and like taking away all of the actions and like everything that he brings to them offensively beyond just his shooting, like the gravity that he has, the pressure that he puts. He's a great cutter. He can read, back cut, finish. He's flying off one action, coming off another. They went to him late game and like, Walsh like navigated an exit screen right on top of him, like no airspace, no way he's shooting it. That was, I talked to him before the game, and that was a challenge. For him, it's him developing as a defensive player. It's not always going to be him guarding an isolation player or like a big time scorer in the sense of like playing pick and roll or playing out of isolation. This is a different kind of challenge for him to go against a shooter and navigate all the off ball screens and overs and unders and rescreens and get actions and all that stuff like. And he answered the call and then some. He has my full belief, full confidence on both sides of the ball. And when he starts believing in himself the way I believe in him, he'll be in great shape. And the last couple games he has. So, and this is what he's capable of doing. 6 for 8, dunking everything, finishing everything, 12 points, 9 rebounds, throws in an assist, 2 block shots, which is under his average. Where there's a couple more out there, but 5 offensive rebounds for him, 4 defensive, and really like some more tip outs there where he's keeping the ball away from them and getting it to our guards to kind of clean up. Where he's been great. He continues to grow. Still like our whole team, a long way to go, but he's got my full confidence, full belief.